All right, welcome to part 3 of Jeux tutorial. So before I start showing the keyboard, I want to talk about just what's going on the score itself. Okay, let's start just from here. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. These notes, look out for staccatos. That little dot right there, that's from the photocopy. That's not a staccato. It's right there, that thing. I kind of made them a little bit more darker and bold. But those staccatos are there for a reason, to jump to the next thing. Even there, that 4, and then a jump to the 2, and then that 5 to jump up here to that 5. So, you know, we have those notes. And then do you see how this group is all crossed out? That's because it's the same exact sort of phrase as this. So it's just the same. You don't have to learn this, just play this again. And even this part is kind of the same too, except right there it's just 2 notes instead of 4. But it's the same 2 notes that you were playing when you played those 4. So let's just go over this part. Right hand, we have jump, 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 same thing again. Okay, so that's all that is. The left hand, same thing. You really want to play those staccato, just tap them for many different reasons. You want to kind of be out of the way of the right hand. And if you're stuck on the keyboard, you won't really be out of the right hand's way. So just kind of tap them. Same thing. Same thing. Then use 2-5. See how that says in? You want to be really towards the keyboard cover so that you're out of the right hand's way. And then, okay? So that's what that is. Now, as for notes, as you can see, I've kind of done some color coding here. We have a blue and we have pink, okay? What the blue means is that anything that's highlighted in blue, the only notes you're going to be playing are C sharp or G, or it should be C sharp and G, or sorry, C sharp and G sharp. Those, every single note here is either C sharp or G sharp. Those are your choices. So this is blue. What notes are here? It's either going to be C sharp or G sharp, maybe in a different order, who knows, but those are the only 2 notes, okay? So look at this, blue, G sharp on the bottom, C sharp on the top. That's all it is. Those are your choices. With pink, your only choices are D or A. D or A. If you see pink, you're only going to be playing D and or A. That's it. But sometimes in a different order. That's why it says D or A, and then here it says same, same, same. But it is in a different order. Okay? So look out for glue drops. It's because 2 and 3, leave them there, because just leave them there. And then this is next. I'll get to that. Okay, so you're gonna see that in the demonstration when it's overhead. Okay, now when it comes to the pink though, even though with pink it's either D or A, nothing else, and with the blue it's either C sharp or G sharp, it doesn't mean that the order is always going to be the same. See here, it's D or A, but you're starting with D, whereas this one you're starting with A, starting with D, starting with A, and so on and so forth. When it comes to those notes, the D or A groups, if you start with D, meaning your thumb is on D, you're going to be using the 3rd finger. I know this may not make sense yet, but it will. If you start with A, meaning if the first note is A, your thumb is on A, you're going to be using the fourth finger. So check this out. If you're starting with D, you're going to use the third finger. 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1. But if you start with A, you're going to use the fourth finger. 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 1. So you're going to see that. If it's D, 3. If you start with A, use 4. But notice I'm only playing D or A or D. That's all it is. Okay, so one more thing. There's a lot to go over here. So this U means under. Is that U next to the right hand notes or the left hand notes? Where have I written it? I wrote it up here for the right hand. What this means is that the right hand, there are going to be times when the hands are in the same area of the keyboard. All that means is that for now, the right hand will be under the left hand. The left hand will be over. Then there's sometimes when the hands are not under or over each other and it's not even applicable anymore. But from here all the way to here, the right hand is either going to be under the left hand or away from it. When you get here, the left hand will be under the right hand until further notice. Here's our next U, which is next to the right hand. On this line, the right hand will be under the left hand. Okay? So really, I've only drawn another U when it changes. There are times when neither hand will be under the other. They'll be separated, they'll be apart. But this is just to give you an alert when they are in the same area and they have to share the keyboard, which hand is under. I'm not going to bother writing under, over. That's too much information. So just think about what's under, okay? Also, just look at this fingering, okay? This fingering is, oh, look at this glue drop. You play 2-5 on those two notes, and why is there a glue drop there? It's because this is exactly the same. They look different, they look far apart, but it's the same. This is just bass clef, that's treble clef. These are exactly the same. You're gonna hit it and hit it again. And then jump to 1 and 4. Definitely use this fingering, okay? Use it. I went over it very carefully. Oh, one more thing before I go to overhead. Let's see. In the left hand here, let me play this. Okay, so you're either playing parallel fifths, which you'll use 1-4 to 2-5, or you'll be playing parallel fourths, which is 1-3 to 2-4. So if it's fourths, use 1-3, 2-4. If it's fifths, use 1-4, 2-5. You'll see that in the keyboard demonstration. Okay, so here is the keyboard demonstration. I'll do each hand alone. I won't use pedal for now because I want you to hear those staccatos, you know, when I jump and, you know, jump to the next thing. So here's the right hand. So as you can see, the hand is reaching and stretching like you wouldn't believe. So you have to use lots of wrist. Okay, I'll do that again. twist, okay? So here's the left hand without pedal. So now I'll try both hands again with no pedal because I want you to hear the little staccatos, the taps and stuff. But I also want you to pay attention to what hand is over, what hand's under, and vice versa, because it's always changing. So here it goes. Okay, so yeah, again, there is a weird place where the hands do get a little bit tangled. In the second measure, where half of it's crossed out, I want you to watch what happens with my fingers here. So watch this. Hold on. Do you see how my left thumb is in between my right thumb and right pointer? It's kind of crazy. It only happens for a little bit though. So watch this again. Try that again. And now maybe with some pedal, okay? It's a little bit sloppy, I apologize. So let me do it a little much slower. Here we go. good luck with this very precarious, kind of scary page. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's a lot of very quick jumps which require an aim, which you have to kind of just have faith. There's also some very crazy reaches where you just simply have to use your wrist, okay? There's a lot of potential for the hands to get tangled, so you kind of have to, you know, you can't always have the hands just flat. They kind of, it has to be sort of like, if this hand's under, then have it here, and have the left hand kind of more out of its way, and vice versa. Okay? Good luck with that. It's not an easy page, but you'll get the hang of it.